What's up? This is Chris, the Stat Guy, and welcome to the Stat Guy Show. What is up? Welcome to the Stat Guy Show, episode number 80. Joining me tonight is your current points leader in the Outlaw 32 Championship, Mr. Nate Sayler. What's up, man?
What's up, dude?
Thanks for
How's the
coming
weather over there?
Rainy, just like Virginia.
Yep. I just got a text message not too long ago saying they're rescheduling the race to Saturday, Sunday because of tornado warnings.
Yeah. Yep. It was looking bad for Friday night for sure. But you can still get your tickets at the Foat, I believe. So
Yes,
if all of a sudden you can go to the race. Sunday looks really beautiful. That will be the day of the Invitational. So still get your tickets there. But what's up, man? How's it feel to be introduced as the current points leader?
Man, it feels pretty good. I hope you can do that a few months down the road too. Yeah, no, dude. California was good to us. I can't complain.
Nice. So as someone who has been successful in MPKs, particularly like season 6, which was your first season, you were in the points chase, specifically towards the end of the year. You were right there battling for it. How do you stay grounded and not get too confident now that you are the points leader going into Virginia?
You know, honestly, like even our crew is asking questions like, what do we do to get faster? And what do we do to, realistically, we just have to race the racetrack every time. And so regardless of who's in the other lane, if I think it can handle more, we're going to give it more. And so when I first started Street Outlaws in season 6, I think I told you this on our interview. I was so Twitter pated by Ryan Martin and Kai Kelly and all those guys being in the other lane. Like I was just doing shit ass backwards. And my tuner, Lee, actually told me, he's like, dude, you need to pull your head out of your ass and start getting to racing, which is what you're good at. And so I was like, God, you're right. And I apologized to my whole crew. I was like, we went to 3 races and I just sucked ass. Mm-hmm. And so we just get in a flow of us doing what's in best interest for our team, our program. And I don't really focus on the rest of that stuff. So it's kind of easy to keep in queue of what we're trying to do because I've just been used to doing it the last couple of years. We went to 4 races last year and made the top 16.
Yeah.
I just go there to race my car. So
yeah,
we got a really good program. Proline takes really good care of me. My sponsors take really good care of me. LAT was drop shipping oil pallets to racetracks for me, and tires, Hoosier tires, and VP Fuel, and all these guys were like drop shipping stuff for us. And to be honest, like you're in logistics, right?
Yeah.
For a 2-time job, a lot of this is logistics. Like for example, after California, we sent the rig to Proline. We had the motor gone through. We had the spare motor gone through. Like there's just so many things that we had to do, and just logistically trying to get the right people in the right places and stuff. We just have to focus on that.
Yeah, that makes sense. So far 1 race and 1 win. After the announcement of you driving for Chris this season, both of you guys faced a little backlash. Some people were saying that others might have deserved to race that car. Some other people were saying that you didn't bring anything extra to the table that nobody else couldn't bring. So after 1 race and you guys winning the first race, how does it feel to shut the naysayers up and prove that Chris chose the right guy for his car?
I don't want to say anybody else didn't deserve the chance to do it. I mean, there's a lot of really good racers out there and stuff like that. I think the argument that they had behind it was kind of dumb. Like, oh, you can sell more T-shirts. I can buy a lot of T-shirts with $40,000. So I think that part of it kind of shut them up. But I just come out here to race my own race. I try to stay out of all that drama bullshit.
Yeah.
But there is drama, as you saw in California when you were there. Even it's hard to stay away from it. I think some of these guys thrive off of it.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, Nate. There's usually not too much drama with people who don't win very often. You know what I mean? Like, if nobody knows about you, they don't really say much about you.
What's that old saying? If you have no haters, you're not doing it right.
That's right. Yep, for sure. So I think it's just going to keep going for you. I think the drama's going to keep going. But
yeah,
you know what I mean? It's about handling it. It's about how you handle it. So so how has your partnership been with Chris? I had the luxury of hanging out with you guys all weekend in Famoso.
You tell me, how was it for you?
I will say, dude, for you guys combining crews, so you have one guy crew guy, Chris has his crew guys from last year. I think there's a bit of a culture difference between Giuseppe and yourself as drivers and how you like things done. I'm not saying either one is correct or bad or anything like that. But I would say overall, you guys worked together. There was no huge arguments. How important, I think, especially moving forward now, because you're probably not going to win every single race. There's probably going to be some things happen. There's going to be some challenges in the future. How important do you think it is to keep the positive atmosphere going as you have kind of two different race programs working together?
Well, like I told Chris, when this stops being fun, I'm done. So I could quit tomorrow and it wouldn't mean it'd be fine with me. If it stops being fun and I'm taking time away from my family and my business and stuff to come out and not have fun, then I'm going to hang it up and be done with it. And I think Chris feels the same way. We're on the same page there. Both of us like nice things and like having our shit together. And we both like to win. And we both like that. Like a lot of the stuff that he likes to happen at the racetrack, I also like. So it actually jived really well. We used 99% of his crew. So 99% of the people coming were all his guys from previous years. And obviously they kicked ass. I mean, last year, I think they were leading points 3/4 of the season.
Right. Yep.
I mean, you would know better than me, but I think that they already knew what was going on. I just basically was asked to fill a seat. I brought Sean with me from my crew. I'm a super loyal guy to my guys. If they're loyal to me, I'm loyal back. And so I brought Sean over. I wasn't going to leave him stranded. He will be the head of the Pro Mod team. When we start racing Pro Mod, he'll be the crew chief for that. And just a great guy. And he fit in really well with Tyson and Jack and all those guys. Honestly, we all get along so well. It'd be really hard to fail. All of us one of us is going to do something stupid. Might be me. It might be whoever. But I think that's with everything you do, you got to have 10 doors closed before you can have one door open. And right now we're just super lucky. Everybody's jiving and working well together. So,
yeah. Seemed like it, man. Obviously, you guys were successful, so has to be going.
Hey, we do. You got a calculator handy? Will you do some math for me, real quick?
Yeah, 1 second.
Will you take $40,000 and divide it out by $25 or $35 a T-shirt and see how many shirts I sold for Chris that weekend?
40,000 divided by, we'll say $30.
Let's say 35. Yeah.
1,333 T-shirts.
That's a lot of T-shirts we sold.
It's a great job.
No, I just give him a hard time because it kind of blows my mind. Like that's the last thing I think about. I give half my T-shirts away. I don't give a shit. I like seeing people like that's a nice T-shirt you're wearing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Nate Sayler.
Yeah, I like to do that. So like. It doesn't matter to me. I just want to win. I want to be successful. I want to race with the most badass dudes on the planet. And as far as no prep, I think we're doing that. Like these guys have been doing it longer than anybody. And lots of people have tried to come on and pump up their chests and stuff. And they usually get knocked in the dirt by a lot of these guys. And like to be in the finals with Scott was a big deal for me, dude. I've been watching him on TV for 13 years, and here he's in the other lane. We're racing for $40,000. It's kind of humbling. It's really cool.
Yeah, it is. It's awesome.
Yes, Tyson, you did do something stupid already.
Yeah, Tyson. I posted a video. I'm sure everybody who has seen it knows. Tyson ended up tear his Achilles.
Yeah,
celebrating the win.
Man, nobody celebrated harder than Tyson. We needed to get him a bottle of something while he was sitting in the pit, though, icing it afterwards. Justin, I'm coming for you with radials, buddy. I'll be there. I heard you were coming to the Galat race, so we'll put it to test.
Nice. Yeah, later in the year. So let's talk speed promotions racing. So this year we saw a couple new formats. There was a couple new things at their actual first race. One of them being the first race was with a pro tree. So for the first time ever, I mean, the fans have been asking for it.
I've been asking for it.
Some drivers have been asking for it. So the first race, it was kind of out of the blue. I don't know how many people actually knew way ahead of time, if any. But they went with the pro tree for the first race. And you, as a former bracket racer, how excited were you when you found out that you guys were going to be doing a pro tree instead of Insta Green?
I was very excited. Not just because I love a pro tree and I feel like I'm pretty decent at it. I also loved it because it took out a whole list of drama bullshit that could have happened, you know? And I like that. Like, we just got down to racing. There was no talk about, oh, you guessed, you left early, you did this, you did that. If my red light doesn't come on, then it's a clean race and it's ready to, and I'm ready to go down the track. But I liked it. I love a pro tree. I heard that they're going to do it like back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know which races will and won't be pro tree or whatever, but I hope that a lot of them are.
Yeah. Now all they gotta do is turn the scoreboards on and everything. No, I'm just joking. I don't think they'll ever do that, but
I don't think so.
No, I
think people would be surprised how fast they are if they did turn on the scoreboards.
Yeah, there would be some people out there that would be surprised for sure. I mean,
yeah, that pass when Kayla wrecked Friday night, both of those cars were stupid fast.
Yeah, they both left hard. They were flying already. Yeah. So and another change we saw was the Friday night format. It's called Beat the Champs. So basically, you race off the trailer, anybody who wants to, and then they do a chip draw to decide what 4 or 5 people are going to race the champions. So the champions are Kai Kelly, Sean, Ryan, Birdman, and Mike Murillo. So the first race, Murillo and Birdman were not there. So they drew 5 chips. What do you think of that format for Friday night? It's there so that the fans can see the champions, see the top dogs race. What do you think of the format where everybody else gets to kind of race their way in and get a lucky chip draw, and then you guys race for 10 grand?
Man, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it. I get what they're trying to do, but I also think that you have the main guys that are gonna get an opportunity to win another $10,000 every Friday night when somebody else would have the opportunity. I think they should just do I liked the grade 8 deal. That way, if you were winning, you deserve to keep winning that deal. Let's say that I'm first in points. We go to Virginia and I win my first round and I draw in the hat and I don't get a lucky chip. That means I'm going to sit on the sidelines while somebody else drew a better chip than me. I don't know. It just doesn't sound very interesting, but I mean, we'll see what happens. It's the first race, so who knows?
Right. Right. Exactly. You never know how it's going to pan out. I know every year, obviously, they do something different. And this is different now. This is another different format for Friday night. Let's talk about your qualifying round of that format. You matched up against Jerry Jansen, but you didn't get too far on track before you had to avoid some disaster. Talk about what happened on that run.
Man, well, before that, we both did our burnouts. We back up, they shut us off, turn us back on, shut us off, turn us back on. Which when you're sitting in the car and it's 100 and something degrees out, like it's way hotter inside the car. And then you just did a big nasty burnout and transmission's hot and it's right here by your legs. And so I was annoyed to start with, but then I let go of the button. I think I had to have been 2 cars out on him before he even left the starting line. And the right collector blew off the car. And if people don't think the downforce on that is insane, I have a picture of mine with one side blowing up and the other side blowing down, and it drove completely right. There was nothing I could do about it. I dumped the throttle immediately. It was on 2 wheels. It was on your right-hand side 2 wheels so hard that it drugged the rocker panel on the
Yeah.
ground.
Jeez.
I think you saw that. It
Yeah, I
literally
did.
it was shooting out sparks and dragging the rocker panel. It was crazy.
Dude, that was crazy. I had never, in all my years of watching no rep games, I've never seen that happen. That was insane.
Well, not a lot of people have headers like that. Chris has fancy chrome plated headers that come up and they're I mean, they look badass on the car. Mine's got zoomies on it. So mine, that could never happen to mine, but it's got a V-band on it, and the V-band just had a crack in it just enough where when I let go of the button, it shot that collector off immediately, shot it through the fender and everything, and broke a bunch of stuff. And we avoided disaster is basically what happened.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, Jerry won. He took the win home and got to. I don't think he drew a lucky chip, so he beat me and didn't even get to draw a lucky chip.
That's correct. Yep. So it was all for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about Saturday. Saturday, the main race, the main event. So we basically hit the reset button. So anything that happened Friday does not matter for Saturday, like it has sometimes in the past. And this is the normal format, like season 1 through 4, I think, was just an invitational on Saturday. Anybody who's there, it's not. We call it invitational, but it's not really invitational anymore. It's an invitation to anybody to come race big tires.
I guess you could call it the main event now, huh?
Yeah, pretty much the main event for the weekend.
Because Mike Henry was in there, and he's a local guy.
Yeah, there was a couple local guys there.
He's a local guy. So yeah, the invitational is kind of over. It's not an invitation. Everybody's invited.
Yes. Yep.
Bring your peoples.
Yep. So this year you get 10 points just for racing in it. Yep. And then you get a basic 10 points for every round you advance. Do you like that we're back to normal where it's just the invitation that matters on the weekend? There's no, well, if you did this in the grade 8, you qualify for this, or if like season 5, it was like grade 8 was the points were combined. Last year, season 6, your first year, the invitational didn't matter for the championship. It only mattered for the team championship. So are you glad it's kind of back to normal and like a normal race series?
I am. I still, like I said before, I wish that they had a grade 8 deal, because I feel like if you're doing well, you deserve to race for that money. You know, it wouldn't be fair to, let's just say Murder Nova, you know, he's number 1 in points and well, I can't use him because he's a champion. So who could we use? Let's say Paige Coughlin. Let's say that she's number 1 in points or number 2 or whatever. She's up there and she wins first round, reaches her hand in the chip box and doesn't grab one. Now she sits out the rest of the night and they don't get to see that fast car go down the lanes. So I don't know. I'm going to give the program the benefit of the doubt and hopefully we'll see the light after a few of these. And, but I think that the grade 8 should have been, I feel like that's where we should have gone with it, but I'm grateful that the Saturday deal is its own deal. Cause if you hit the ball in left field on Friday night, like we did, it didn't ruin my Saturday.
Right. Well, let's talk about Saturday first round. Speaking of hit the ball, there were many big dogs that hit the ball in the first round. You, like anybody else who's going to go all the way to the finals and win, there has to be some luck in there. And you luckily drew a guy who didn't make a pass. As your pass was not very, very good pass either. Talk about how tricky that track was in the first round. There was Sean, Ryan, a lot of guys did not make a full pass, could barely get to 330.
Man, it just
talk about that. How that was it? The track temperature, was it greasy? What was it?
Man, the track was 148 degrees.
Man,
and it pulled really well, so it felt sticky. It just couldn't handle any power. And the problem is if you notice, like even when Kayla crashed, like that was out there a ways, it was slicker. It was slick on the top end. Like all of us were turning the car down on the top end. We couldn't do half of what we could have done on a good track. The starting line was really good. But at first the starting line was good. Let me rephrase that. The starting line was good towards later in the afternoon, but earlier in the day, it was awful. We actually ended up taking gobs of power out. We put weight in the car. I did a bunch of stuff to get it to work. And it finally went down. But like first round, dude, I 1,000,000,000% like should have bought a lottery ticket. Because if he would have went down, he would have smoked me.
Yeah.
Our car went hard left and there was no bringing it back.
Yeah. a lot of guys struggled in that first round. Sean, like I said, Sean and Ryan and Kai couldn't even make a pass. So it's how it can be sometimes, though, right? I mean, that's first round on a hot day on Saturday around 2 p.m. or whatever time it starts. It's track could usually be pretty greasy. So round 2, you drew Paige Coughlin. That was a good race. She made some nice passes that weekend. What's your mindset now going after your first round pass and you didn't make a full pass? What are you thinking for round 2? Are you just kind of, in the back of your mind, you're like, I hope this goes down? Or is it, is you talking with your tuner, Lee? Like, what is he saying about for round 2?
Well, Lee basically told me, he's like, dude, we need to figure some shit out or we're going to be loaded up. So we made a bunch of changes. I added a bunch of weight in the back of the car. I changed tire pressures. We changed tune-up. We changed a lot of stuff. Like, we were throwing shit at a wall to see what'll stick, to be honest with you. And thankfully, Paige made a fast pass too. So thankfully, I was just a little bit faster than she was. So we inched her out. But yeah, we didn't know what it was going to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could see that. Round 2 the track started to come around, or at least everybody was starting to figure it out a little bit. There was some much better passes, much better races in round 2. And you knew like round 3 was going to be that time where the sun's coming down, the track's starting to possibly start to get really good now. And you drew Cole Pez for round 3. Everybody knows Cole Pez is really fast with his setup that he has there and his car. He was scrambling to get a rear end in and ready to go for that round. He ended up making it, and y'all had a race. It was really close. You won. From your experience, like, you put yourself in Cole's shoes, how hard is it to stay mentally like focused when you are scrambling and you don't know if you're going to make the time before the next round? How do you stay like mentally like focused? Like, okay, I got to do what I got to do. My burnout's got to be good. I got to do this. How do you keep that mindset?
It's ridiculous, honestly. I'm surprised he did as well as he did, because to have your car, like, I looked over there when we were going up to the lanes, we were getting text. We had 25 minutes after we left the starting line, and we were getting text to bring him up and blah, blah, blah. So we bring him up, and I seen him over there, tires off the car still. And I was like, oh my God, dude, I can't imagine the panic in his head. Cause I mean, to come all the way to California and load the car up over something as dumb as a third member breaking, like, it sucks. Yeah. And so I was glad they made it, and we got to make a run. Cole and I have had our history from Vegas last year, but I don't think he's a bad guy. I think he just wants to win just as bad as everybody else. And he's very passionate about it. He's got a history with drag racing with his father and stuff like that. And anytime that your dad's involved in anything you do, and that's what I came from, that's how I got started drag racing, was from my old man. And so anytime that's something to do with that, you're super passionate. And I feel like he did what he had to do and made the round. And if he would have had a little more time, who knows, it might have been even closer, or he might have got around us. I don't know. But I'm grateful it ended the way it did. And we went on to round 4 after that, right? We got the bye.
Yeah, round 4, there was only 3 drivers left. It was you, Scott, and Lutz. And Lutz had received the bye in round 3, I believe, so he could not get it again. So it was a chip draw to determine who gets the bye right into the finals, and you won the chip draw. And so you got a free pass. So Scott raced Lutz, and you get the free pass. There's that day-old question, or year-old question of, do I take it easy on this pass, or do I see what the track can hold to see if I can, make a really good pass for the finals? So you obviously,
what did we decide?
you turned it up. You wanted to see what the track could hold, and it held it. How good does it feel when you make that decision, right? Because you never know. You could blow the tires off, and then you're like, shit, what do I do for the finals now, right? How does it feel when you turn it up to see what the track can hold, and it takes it? I mean, how does it feel? How's your confidence? It must grow going into the finals then, I would think.
It does, and I knew Scott was fast. I had talked to Lee about it and said, we need to try something, because the pass that I made previous, I didn't think would beat Scott Taylor. And so I wanted to see how much more power the top end of the track would handle, and how much more power early we could put to it. And I'm grateful that we did that. It didn't come without a price. Like I hurt some parts on that run, and we had to go back and scramble. But we got to put back together. We got a great team. We really do. All of us work really well together. Everybody wants the same thing. They're all very talented, and we got to put back together and ready for the final.
Yeah, and it was a hell of a final. It was had to be the closest race of the night, the fastest race of the night, clearly. I think you beat Scott by maybe a fender. You guys were flying. Scott was fast all weekend. I think he rounded up between Friday and Saturday, had like 6 round wins, and only losing once in the finals to you. So, talk about your emotions winning the first race of the year. Like I said, how you barely make it. You get lucky in round 1. You're making passes. You're making faster passes as the night goes. You had to turn it up to beat Scott. How'd it feel? How emotionally? You and brand new team putting it together the first race. How'd you feel taking that ride back down the lane, celebrating your win?
It felt really good. I had a lot to prove at this race because, like you had talked about earlier, whether I deserve the seed or not. Chris called me and asked me to drive his car. And because we were like-minded, I mean, we were buddies before this. We were on teams in season 6, season 7 for the 4 races I went to, plus the other 4. So 8 races. We were pit next to each other almost every time. If they needed something, they could have it out of my trailer. If I needed something, vice versa. So it really was a friendship that kind of got us in that. Man, I'm yawning like crazy.
Long day.
I thought I was going to have to get up at 3 a.m. tomorrow to fly out, and now I'm not. And so I'm gonna go to bed early tonight. But no, I think Chris is in the chat right now.
He's trying to get his internet's crappy. I'm trying to see if he can get some better internet.
Oh, okay.
To join in.
Honestly, I couldn't have been luckier to get into such a great group of guys. These guys they took me in and took in my crazy ideas, and I switched a lot of stuff in this car going into this season. Like, we switched a lot from all of our fuel injectors, the bigger Pro Charger, nitrous, the rear gear set, down to even the oil we're using is all different. The people who are building the engines, the tuner, everything's totally different. And these guys were awesome to listen to my ideas and say, hey, here's what I'm thinking. And Chris kind of just let me run with it and make some changes, and we did.
Yeah. So there was 2 things. It definitely worked. We won the first race. There was 2 things that you guys took advantage of that I didn't know who was going to take advantage of it, and how it would play out. One of them being you have your Pro Charger as your main power adder, and then you added nitrous to it as well. Not everybody was doing that. There actually was less people than I thought. How did that work? Clearly, I think you've turned some people's minds. I know Scott Taylor, after the finals, said he's getting a bigger blower and he's adding nitrous. So you tried one of the things that you could try this year that you wouldn't be able to try in the past, and it worked out. So talk about that. Talk about trying something. You know what I mean? Like, you never really know what's going to happen. I know you've tested with it, but you don't know what anybody else. It's kind of weird because you don't have a rule set, so you don't really know what anybody else is going to do or try to do. And you tried something and it worked. So talk about how that feels.
It felt pretty good to be able to have that available to us. Nitrous Outlet came on board this year, sponsoring us, and they've been awesome to deal with. Whatever we need, they have been overly generous. But I kind of had a cheat sheet of this per se beforehand, because I got friends that are running nitrous with Pro Chargers already. So I kind of had a little in on some notes anyways. And it was kind of it kind of bumped us up, to be honest with you. And Lee's a badass dude. I don't know if anybody, if you met Lee, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Lee White's a badass dude. The dude can tune, and he'll just look at something and scratch his head for a second and walk in, and he's like, all right, we're going to try something. And it just I trust in him, and being a driver and trusting the tuner is a big deal. You know, he's tuning my Pro Mod as well. He tuned my Nova he's tuned my cars for 4 years. So he's a badass, and having him in my corner and the team we have now, I think it's going to be a really hard team to get around.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. The other thing you took advantage of this year was that there's no more testing rule 200 miles or within 2 weeks of the race. You guys tested at Famoso. A couple of you guys did during the week. Talk about, did that give you a legitimate advantage? It's really similar now, and I feel like everybody's going to start doing it now. You might have opened Pandora's box with that, but I feel like it's a regular race series, like a Pro Mod or something race series where people come Monday and Tuesday and they test at the track to get ready for the race that weekend. Do you think that's what this is going to turn into for the rest of the year?
Honestly, it was a different racetrack Monday. Like when we tested, it was 70 degrees out,
right?
And
weather was
track
different.
Temp was 109 or something like that. 90 degrees when we finished the last one. The track temp was 148 degrees on that first pass. Did it help? I'm not going to say it didn't, because anytime you can test your car, it helps. But I don't think it was like oh my God, here's the key formula to the, here's the answer key to my test. It's not like that at all. But I think it definitely, anytime you can put passes on a car and try some new things, we still have stuff we're going to try. So Virginia, we're going to keep the car the way it was. And then we're going to go test and try some other things, some other ideas that the guys and Lee and myself have come up with, and keep them guessing.
Yeah. I think it's what you got to do, Nate, right? If you're at the top, to stay at the top. You can't just get stagnant and think you have it all figured out and you're just going to ride that through the end. Like you said, everybody, especially with this no rules thing, everybody's going to be testing all kinds of different stuff, and talking to this person, talking to that person. So
do you know why Ryan Martin's won so many championships?
Because he tests?
He tests more than anybody I know. That dude is if you say, oh, I wonder what this is, he goes, well, actually, he already knows. The dude tests like crazy. I think they're testing right now in Galot. It's the rain cut up, but he does. He puts in the time, and anybody who puts in the time, you're a athlete. When you put in the time, what happens? You're successful, and so that's what he did. And we tested 2 times before California, and it was all fresh in all of our minds. It was just like clockwork, just muscle memory, just doing it pass after pass. And like I said earlier, and like you said, you got to get a little luck sometimes, and we did. We got lucky. That first round, we could have been in the trailer the first round.
Right. Yeah. There ain't nobody making 5 perfect passes out there.
No way.
On a Saturday. It doesn't happen. So everybody gets luck. You need the luck sometimes. So like you said, the next race on the docket is Virginia this weekend. It got pushed out 1 day, like we said earlier. So Beat the Champs will be on Saturday, and the main event, we'll call it, is on Sunday now. You can still get your tickets at thefote.com. This track is definitely faster, will run faster than Famoso. So what does that do for you guys? What does it mean for you guys?
That means we just get to turn it up. I think at Famoso, the trick was, and this is hard for people to do, is to turn stuff down. We want to think that we, want to turn it up, but the surface will humble you really quickly, as you could tell. So now we got a bunch more power in the car. We just took a bunch out. And so now if the track will handle it, you'll see that car really flying. We went pretty fast in Famoso, but it's not the fastest we've ever been. Track conditions wouldn't allow it. But Virginia has always been a super fast track. And we're looking forward to turning it up some more, seeing what this old girl do. Gucci's a really good race car. It works really good going down these crappy tracks, and it works really good early. Like if you notice, the 60 foot on that car is insane. Even last year when I was racing Giuseppe, that asshole would jump 2 cars out on me early. And you want to talk about panic, dude. When you're in a car that's as fast as, like, my Nova was fast. When you're in a car that fast and dude jumps 2 cars out on you, dude, panic settles in. Your foot cannot go further through the floor. It just can't. And so that car 60 foots really well. And now we're just going to turn it up out the back end.
Yeah. Yeah. It should be for the fans that watched live at the first one or even watched on YouTube or whatever. Like there was only 17 cars, I believe, in the Invitational. But this Virginia race will have more. Some of the guys who couldn't make the first California race are coming to Virginia. Some of the normal guys, Chris Rankin, B-Rad, Dave will be there. So for the fans, there will be more cars, there will be more drivers. This should be even more competitive this weekend. And like Nate said, the track's gonna be even faster. So it should be really good racing this weekend. If you have any questions when you're watching right now, if you have any questions for Nate, put it in the chat box. We'll look for them. So Nate, let's step aside from speed promotions for a little bit, and let's talk about this new Pro Mod Mustang build that you have going on. You unveiled it, I think about a month ago, or Quartermax unveiled it about a month ago. It's coming from you. I knew it was going to look badass. I know how you like your things looking nice. It is beautiful. Talk about how long this has been in the mix, and talk about why a Mustang. Just talk about the whole Pro Mod build and
it's not a Mustang, Chris. It's Eleanor. There's a difference. There is a difference. I'm not a Ford guy. I'm not. I'm a Mopar guy. My Chevy Nova looks like a Dodge Dart, so I like that. And this car is Eleanor. And ever since Gone in 60 Seconds came out, I wanted a car like this.
Yeah.
And last February, I ordered the car.
Okay.
And I wasn't going to race Street Outlaws this year. Again, like I told you guys, I was going to put my car on smalls, which is exactly what we're doing right now. It'll have 28 10.5s on it. We're going to go see if we can run with them guys. And then I was going to run Pro Mod. And I wanted the baddest built race car in the country, or at least in my mind. And Clyde Scott just bought Quartermax and built me one hell of a hot rod. Like, it is absolutely stunning.
Nice. Yeah, it's beautiful. So as I'm guessing it's based on the pictures, is it getting wired right now?
Yeah, it's getting wired, getting the engine, transmission, blower, all the goodies put in it. And I'm very meticulous about that stuff. So I went to the best of the best, Proline Power, Mark Mickey transmission. This year we changed it up a little bit. We made the car be able to run a screw blower or a Pro Charger. We have 2 front ends for it. We're going to start off with the screw. I've never driven one before, so I wanted to see what it was like. And so the Pro Mod will have a screw in it. And it will have the new 4.9 Proline setup. I think Richard just asked about that. It will have a screw blown motor in it. And John Holmeyer's wiring it just like he wires all my cars. RK will turnkey it. This car will leave RK and I'll be able to go test with it immediately.
Nice. The color scheme, is this the same or very similar to the Nova?
It is the exact same color as the Nova. Down to the orange is a candy orange. I think they call it candy tangerine. It's a House of Colors color. All that grill that you're looking on there, that is all airbrushed. That is not a decal. Steve at S&D Paint did the paint job on this car, and I cannot tell you he knocked it out of the park. Like 1,000,000,000% exceeded my expectations. If you look at it, the center lights are actually painted. The outside, it's got real headlights and real tail lights in a Pro Mod, which everybody thought I was crazy, but I just like what I like. And so between Clyde and Steve and all the guys at Proline and everything, we decided to build everything the way we're building it. And hopefully she runs as good as she looks.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure the pictures I probably are not going to do it justice, because I'm sure in person that thing is just beautiful. Especially if it's the same look as your Nova. I know your Nova is beautiful in person.
Mm-hmm.
So with the Speed Promotions racing schedule, and you said you're going to be racing your Nova on smalls. What is the outlook for racing? When do you think you'll be able to race the Pro Mod?
So there's a couple races that don't coincide with street outlaws or speed promotions, and so we're gonna go race those 3, and then I hope to do Winter Series. That's like a huge deal off on my bucket list. I said this long before any of this happened. Like I got interviewed in 2016, and Craig from Drag Illustrated asked me what my bucket list was, or do you have anything that you're striving for? And I said, I want to race World Series of Pro Mod. It's the baddest dudes in cars in a Pro Mod in the country. Some could argue to say the world, and they're all there. Like you're talking about dudes that will eat your lunch on any given track at any given time. And that's what I want. I want to see if we can hang with them. And I hope that I can. I built the right product, so I'll have the right people behind me and the right stuff in the car, the right horsepower. So hopefully it all jives together, and I can do my part as a driver, and I know Lee will do his part as a tuner, and hopefully we'll have a badass hot rod.
What else? You mentioned some of the races that you might do before the Winter Series that you're hoping to get into. Which Pro Mod race is? I know there's a local race to you. Are you going to race? Do you think you're going to do that one again and race your Pro Mod or your Nova?
Yeah, so there's a big tire race here and a small tire race here in Billings, and we won that last year. In fact, this is I've never had a black chrome Wally, but this was from last year.
Nice, that's badass.
So I want to try and back that one up. I'm going to bring Gucci here. So we're going to bring Gucci to Billings, and then I'm going to run the small we're going to double duty. We're going to run both cars.
Okay.
I want to put both cars nose to nose in the winner circle.
That'd be badass.
That's my plan. I don't know if it's going to work, but that's my intentions.
Yeah, that's a while down the road, right? There's a lot of racing that before then, but that'd be cool as hell.
But the other races we plan on going to, it was either between PDRA and Midwest Pro Mod, and right now Midwest is just I think it's the sanctioning place to go. I mean, it's 20,000 to win. I think PDRA is 10,000 to win. I did just see. Did you see that IHRA race for $125,000? Yeah. I mean, that makes it pretty tough to not do that. Right.
I mean, is that something that I'm sure that's what I got to imagine that's what other people look at this day and age now too. I think it's cool to race in a series and race 7-8 races and get a chance at a points championship. But it seems like it's really leaning towards the bigger money payout races. Like even if it's not a series or if it's a short series, like the World Series of Pro Mod, short 3-race series, but they pay out big. You know what I mean? Like you said, Midwest pays out 20. The IHRA is paying out. You think that's where things are going to go to? Do you think people are going to do less and less of the series racing and hardcore? I'm going to make every race to try to win a championship. I think they're going to lean towards, hey, I want to go do bigger double, triple payouts, bigger races here and there.
Well, look what Swanstrom's doing. Dude, he's making a living out of crushing people's hopes and dreams. Like, it's crazy. He's going to all these radio races and they're doing really well. And he's got his program done really well. Justin's like, I think that's going to be the new norm is what he's doing. He's putting on a race, a radio race. I'm going to go to that. I signed up for that already. Tim asked when we're coming to Billings. So Gucci will be coming to Billings July 25th and 26th for the Wild West Drag Fest at Yellowstone Drag Strip. So if you're in the area and you want to see a No Prep Kings car go down a track here and compete for it, we will have it here all set up. You can get your merch. You can do whatever. Come hang out with us. We'll also have my NPK car here on small tires. So it'll be a really good race. Are you going to come out to that, Chris?
That's my plan. I'm going to come check it out. I'm excited. That'll be cool. I didn't know. You guys surprised me with that. I didn't know Gucci might show up there. So that's
I talked to Chris about it.
I love that.
Yeah, I think so too. And last year, I mean, these cars are just a whole different caliber. I mean, they're 4,000 plus horsepower, and so not a lot of people get to see that all the time. So to bring it to my hometown is pretty cool. I talked to Chris about it. I talked to the whole crew about it. All the crew's on board. Chris was on board right away. Everybody wants to come see Montana. We just want everybody to go home afterwards. Don't stay.
Right.
But yeah, we want everybody to come out and hang and check it out. You'll be able to see this car run down the track, and it's going to be tricky too. Like it's going to be a matter of who can handle the track and how much power you can put down to it. But we're super excited to do that.
Is that a no prep race?
No, it's a prep, but they don't do like, it's not like
Not radial prep.
It's not like a radial prep at a regular radial race. I mean, they do prep it
Yeah.
more than normal. But it's not like if you go to one of Jake's races or something, dude, you cannot stand in one spot for more than a couple seconds. Or put your whole foot down because you're not leaving with your shoe.
Yeah, for sure.
And even an experienced drag racer, like I've been drag racing a long time, and I went to one of Jake's race with Bodie at XRP and put my foot down, and my shoe like stuck to the ground. I had to have somebody come help me pry it off the asphalt and stuff. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm. Richard Harper had a question about what motor you're going to have, I guess probably for the Mustang, and what motor you're going to have for your Nova.
Yeah, so the Mustang, like I said, will have a new 4.9 Proline powered Alan Johnson with a screw. My Nova will have the MH7, which is exactly what we ran season 6 and season 7. Or actually season 7. Season 6, we had an MH6. The Nova will still be Pro charged, and we'll probably throw nitrous on that as well. Now that we got a feel for it with Gucci. But yeah, that's our plan for now. So I'll have an MH8 in the Nova as soon as they're readily available. I'm sure there's a big laundry list of people who want the newest, greatest deal. So.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. And your plan, I think you said this earlier, for the Bowling Green race, the small tire race, the first one at least, because the second one is a Galat, and that's the radial small tire. But the first one's no prep. Yep. You're going to be bringing your car in Gucci's trailer. Is that where?
Yeah. So what we're going to do is I'm going to send my trailer truck, and I'm going to send a pickup truck and a bumper pull trailer over with my car, and we'll just pit out it. We'll leave Gucci upstairs and just pit out of that trailer.
Nice.
The only hiccup that I was thinking was the parts and stuff like that, because my trailer's full of parts for my stuff. So that's the only hiccup. I haven't figured that out yet. Logistics, like I was talking about earlier.
That's what it's all about.
I'm gonna really figure that out, because I think my semi is gonna have my Pro Mod in it already at that point. So if it doesn't, we'll try and do it that way. If it does, then I got to figure out a different plan.
Awesome. Well, Nate, I appreciate you coming on tonight, buddy. As always, it's awesome. I appreciate the love you give me and let me come hang out at the first race. I was supposed to come this weekend, but Virginia got pushed out a day, so unfortunately I have to go to work and do the not fun stuff and go to work. But like I said, I appreciate you coming on as always. Good luck this weekend. I'll be watching. If you can't make the race, Speed Promotions Racing will be live on YouTube. So check that out. And if you can't check the live out, they always come out with a pretty badass recap videos that are really cool. It reminds me so much of like the TV show of No Prep Kings. So check that out. But otherwise, Nate, good luck this weekend, buddy. And
Thank you, sir.
Have a good night.
Thank you too.
See ya.